Cheevo, guys!
What up, guys? This is
Cheevo, guys!
back here again with another achievement guide. Today, we are going to be focused on Distraint. This game was actually made by a one-man crew. His name is Makkonnen, and it was published by Ratalaika Games. As with most Ratalaika games, this is another easy completion or platinum trophy. To get our full completion, we do have to complete the full game this time. However, it only takes about 1 hour. You are going to see me fly through the game in about 50 minutes. This is a side-scrolling horror game. Without spoiling too much, it's about mental illness. It's about a guy and he has a pretty dark job. His job is to seize people's houses. The game is really about the bad karma that he has for doing so. Other than that, guys, let's just dive right into it. So at the start, you're going to walk up to the first door and you're going to try to open it. Right now, he's trying to find Mrs. Goodwin's door. You're going to knock on the second door. It's not going to let you into that door. And then you're going to walk to the third door. And it's going to say no. Then you're going to walk back to the second door. And she's finally going to let you in. Once she lets you in, you are going to go speak to Miss Goodwin. Basically what's going on is he's telling her he has to seize her property. She's saying she doesn't have any money and she's too broke to pay for it. And basically, he's coming up to these old people throughout the game and he's telling them, hey, you're out of luck. I gotta seize your property. I don't care if you can't pay it or not. So interact with the rocking chair, then go back to the door, interact with the door, walk up to the picture and interact with the picture, and then that's going to trigger a cutscene. You're going to get your achievement for the first Distraint. Alright, and then you're going to leave the room. She's all sad, crying, because you're basically evicting her. You're going to walk all the way back to the left, and you're going to go in the elevator. It's going to say that the power is off. And now you're going to walk all the way to the right hand side into the entrance where the door fell down. Alright, so these little A's on the wall, those are your save points. A couple notes, make sure that you save. It doesn't take long at all. It literally just pops up a little dialogue when you press A on one of them. I would recommend it. The first time I played this game, I got all the way to the end and it froze on me and I didn't save at all. So don't take the saves for granted. So here we hit the first door and then the first door that put us into the restroom. Here we need to go to the bathtub and grab the ice cube. Right here it's going to give you a little tutorial on your inventory. What it's saying is that you basically always have an active item in your inventory, and that's the item that you're using to attempt to interact with the world. In certain cases though, you have to make sure that your inventory slot is empty for you able to pick up an item. So we exited out of the bathroom, went to the right, and we're trying to put the ice cube inside of the oven. The ice cube is going to melt and it's going to give you a key. You are going to walk all the way to the left into the living room. Now we are going to walk to the left and you are going to be able to unlock the door now. You're going to walk in, walk all the way to the right, enter the door, and then now we're going to walk all the way to the right, and you're going to try to interact with the nightstand, and it's going to give you the horror book. Going to walk back all the way to the left where we came from. Walk all the way to the left, and we are going to put the horror book on the bookcase. Alright, that's going to give us another book. We are going to walk all the way to the right and enter the door. Now walk to the bookcase, and we are going to put this book on the bookcase. That's going to open up a secret door behind the curtains. Walk in. Alright, so you're going to walk forward, and there's going to be 3 gentlemen there, and they're going to be dancing, and they're going to say, "Job well done." These are basically your bosses. These are the guys that are making you evict these people. So after you talk to them, you're going to walk forward, and you're going to go into the last door on the right. Make sure you save your game. Keep walking to the right until you see the corpse. You're going to interact with the corpse, and that's going to trigger this zombie elephant to start stampeding after you. So right when that cutscene starts, you need to start running to the right. If you don't start running and you don't keep running, the elephant is going to catch up with you and you're going to die, and you're going to have to start this part over. So just make sure that you're holding right all the way throughout this, and then eventually it's going to fade to red and it's going to end this portion. And if you're wondering why there's zombie elephants out of nowhere, I have no idea what this has to do with the game at all. I don't know, but it's a little creepy. That cutscene is going to end, and then you're going to end up waking up in your bedroom. It happens that it was just a bad dream about the zombie elephant. Make sure you save your game, and you're going to walk all the way to the right to your coffee machine. It's going to give you your coffee mug. You're going to walk into the restroom, which is the nearest door, and you're going to try to take water out of the toilet. This is going to trigger an achievement. Next, we're going to walk to the left to the sink, and next we're going to try to fill up the mug from the sink water. Alright, it doesn't appear that that works, so we're going to exit the restroom and we're going to walk to the left and walk into the next door. Now we're going to get some water from the dripping water from the ceiling, and that's going to give you an achievement for getting your coffee water. Once we have that, we're going to exit the room, and we're going to walk all the way to the right to the coffee machine again. Alright, so now our coffee is brewing, so we're going to be walking all the way to the left, and what you're going to do is look out the window, and then you're going to walk to the right, and you're going to walk into the bathroom, because he heard a noise. Alright, there's nothing in the bathroom, you're going to exit, and voila! It looks like your parents are there. Creepy. So talk to your parents. And if you're wondering why there's no in-game sound, it just depends on the developers. Some of these developers use music that are not monetizable. So yeah, this is non-monetizable, so I muted the in-game music. Alright, so now he's tripping because his coffee is gone. He's hallucinating. He obviously has some mental illness issues. You're going to walk into the room, and then you're going to walk over to the left. You've seen a ghost, and you are going to interact with your wardrobe. This is going to trigger a cutscene. You can skip through the dialogue by pressing A if you haven't realized yet. Sorry, I didn't mention that before. You're going to walk all the way to the right once you get to this forest area. Just keep on walking. While we're on this long walk, if you guys are ever interested in supporting my channel, I always have Microsoft affiliate links to purchase these games in the description below. Alright, so once you get to the cabin, we are going to knock on the door. And it looks like the person that we're trying to seize their property is ignoring us. So we're going to keep walking all the way to the right. And eventually you're going to see a guy by the fire. And you're going to talk to him. It's going to trigger some dialogue. As always, you can skip through it. And he's going to give you a key to the cabin. So you are going to walk back. skip the shed, keep on walking. What we are doing right now is we're actually going for achievement. Ironically, it's called Long Walk. It's for walking all the way back to the beginning of this area and trying to interact with a sign with a random object. Eventually, after a very long walk, you will run into this sign and you are going to try to interact with it with the key that you have. That's going to trigger the achievement, and then you are going to have a long walk back. Make sure you save your game. Alright, now we're going to use the key to open the door. And what we need to do next is we need to work on lighting this fire right here. We're going to exit the cabin and we're going to grab the firewood. Next, we're going to walk inside and we're going to place the firewood. Alright, so next we're going to walk into the nearest door. This is the hallway. Once you're in the hallway, you're going to walk all the way to the end. And on the nightstand right there, you're going to find some gasoline. So now we're going to work on taking this gasoline back to the fireplace. So walk all the way to the left. That's going to take you back to the fireplace. And it's going to tell you that you need something to throw into the fire. So we're going to go back into the hallway. We're going to enter the first door. And there's going to be a little trash can next to the desk. Now, when you interact with the trash can, you have to make sure that you don't have anything active in your inventory. Otherwise, it won't let you pick it up. So, pick up the paper. We're going to exit, go all the way to the left, head back to the fireplace, and we're going to put the paper inside of the fire. Alright, and then you're going to use the gasoline, and then that's going to light the fire, and that's going to trigger the fire maker achievement. Next, you're going to talk to the guy. He's going to tell you that basically he's broke, there's no electricity. This is why, they're having to use the fire and all that. Next, you're going to go back to the hallway. You're going to walk back into the first room, and you're going to interact with the dog bed. You're going to leave the room. You're going to go back to the gentleman, and you're going to talk to him. He's going to tell you a bit about his dog. And then next, we're going to go back to the hallway, and we are going to go all the way down the hallway, all the way to the end, to the exit on the right side. Once we're in the kitchen, we're going to walk to the right, and we are going to walk into the first door. Next, we are going to go to the right, and we are going to interact with the bathtub. It's going to explain this is where he used to wash his dog, and that's going to release this green stench trail, and we just need to follow the green trail. That's going to lead us to this door right here, and it's going to say that there's a hole in the door and that there's a combination lock. So what we need to do is go back and talk to the gentleman and see if we can get the code from him. Alright, he says that he believes that the dog crawled through that hole right there by the door, and he's going to give us the code for it. So we're going to walk back into the door, walk up to the second door, and you're going to enter the combination 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, that's 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you're going to press the arrow to enter. And once you are in the cellar, you are going to walk to the right. Keep following the trail. It's going to take you to a dead end, so you're going to walk into this first black room. You're going to walk past the washer, and you are going to walk into the second black room. Keep following the trail. Save your game. Exit on the right. Keep following the trail. Alright, and you're going to interact with the tool table. There's going to be some gasoline on the tool table. You're going to walk all the way to the right, exit, and you're going to keep walking all the way to the right down this forest path. Keep on walking. And eventually, you're going to see this cute little puppy eating this coyote or fox or whatever it is. And it's saying you need to gain the dog's trust. So what you're going to try to do is you're going to try to give it the gasoline, and that's going to trigger an achievement. Obviously, it doesn't want anything to deal with the gasoline. So we need to walk all the way back to the left. And what we need to do is we need to find some gloves so that we can interact with this puppy. So walk all the way to the left. Eventually, you're going to get back to the shed. You're going to walk in, walk past the door, and you're going to walk into the exit on the left side of the screen. Save your game. And next, what we need to do is walk up to the compressor right here and give it the gasoline. Make sure you have the gasoline in your inventory. Once the compressor is on, we're going to walk into the door and we're going to interact with the washing machine. Before, the washing machine didn't work because we didn't have any power. This is going to trigger a cutscene, and it's going to give you the gloves out of the washer. We're going to follow the stench back outside. Keep walking all the way to the right. And what we are going to do is we're going to walk all the way back to the man-eating puppy, and we are going to interact with it with the gloves on. If you guys aren't already, make sure you follow me on Twitter. I do about 3 video game giveaways a week, and I'm going to be giving away a copy of Distraint here on Twitter, so make sure that you follow me on Twitter and enter the giveaway. Alright, so once you get back to the puppy, it's going to like the smell of the glove. You're going to put the glove in its mouth, and it's going to start walking back to the left. You're going to follow the puppy. Keep walking to the left, and there is the zombie elephant again. Start running to the right. And don't stop. Otherwise, you may fail that part. Alright, you're going to talk to the gentleman again. And he's saying that he's going to leave immediately. And he takes his puppy and he leaves. So now we're going to go talk to the bosses. And they're going to say, well done. Thanks for evicting or seizing more property. You know, they got their money bags. They don't care. They got their money. They don't care about anybody's feelings. So they're doing the happy dance and saying, yeah, that's our boy. So in this game, we're actually seizing 3 different people's property. So we are going to be working on our 3rd one now. There are 3 Distraint achievements, and you get 1 after you seize each person's property. So once this cutscene ends, it's going to send us in another trippy area. Once you get to this area, just keep walking to the right. Make sure you save your game. This guy definitely has some issues. Who would have thought a job could stress you out that much? Once you get to the area with all of the Miss Goodwins, you're just going to keep walking to the right, and then eventually you'll be able to walk up to the crying one and you'll interact with her. Alright, so next he's going to get a phone call, and what the phone call is it's a hospital calling him, and it's letting him know that Mrs. Goodwin had a stroke. That's the first lady that he evicted, and it's the people at the hospital are letting you know that she had no family to contact and that she chose you for her contact out of everybody. So yeah, this guy is feeling super guilty right now. Next, the game is going to fade to black, and what do you know? It was just another bad dream. Alright, so once you wake up out of your bed, you'll be like, ah man, what a nightmare. You're gonna walk out of your room, gonna save your game, and then first things first, gotta go make your coffee. So you're gonna walk up, you're gonna try to make your coffee, then you're going to get a ringing phone. You're going to walk all the way to the left and you're going to answer it. So it's the hospital calling, telling you that Mrs. Goodwin actually did have a stroke. And then you're telling them, let me guess, she wants me to go visit her. And so you end up hanging up with the phone and you end up walking back to get your coffee. And boom, your parents are sitting at the table. Your parents are basically telling you about how they think you're losing yourself, and they know Mrs. Goodwin and she's not doing good now, and that there's consequences to your action and to your job, and your parents are basically guilt tripping you. Alright, so now you need to drink your coffee. And now that you drink your coffee, you need to go to your room and get dressed. So you're going to walk all the way to the left, walk into the door, and you're going to walk to the left to your wardrobe, interact with it, and that's going to trigger a little cutscene, a fadeaway, and you could skip through the dialogue. Once you are in the nursing home lobby, you are going to walk all the way to the right. Looks really sad in here, bunch of old people. Save your game. I think it's supposed to look depressing. You basically sent this lady into a nursing home because you evicted her out of her house. So you're going to talk to this gentleman inside of the room, and you are going to leave the room. That was the janitor of the nursing home. He gives you a key, and you can go through the double doors now. The double doors is the hallway. Once you're in the hallway, you're going to walk all the way to the right. There's going to be a nurse and a gentleman at the end. You're going to walk into that last door. It's going to be really dark. You're going to walk to the right, and you're going to be able to interact. And there's a little puzzle to turn on the electricity right here. A couple notes about the puzzle. It's completely random. The puzzle that I had on my screen is not going to be the same as yours. You need to trigger the lights in a certain order to turn on the electricity. Exit the room, walk all the way to the left, down the hallway, and you are going to exit the door on the left side of the screen. Save your game, walk all the way to the right, and you are going to go back into the basement, and now the janitor is butchering something or chopping up a body, getting rid of the evidence, something creepy. And now you're just going to talk to him. You're going to walk into the middle of all of the guts, interact with it, and then you are going to walk out of the basement. Alright, save your game. Now we're going to walk back into the double doors, which is the hallway. Going to walk forward, keep on walking, and you're going to go all the way to the end, and this time we're going to talk to the gentleman. And he's saying, oh, I happen to come across some roast beef and some meat, and basically that's the guy cooking up all the food for this nursing home. Super creepy. Gonna walk all the way back to the left down the hallway on the exit on the left side of the screen. Keep walking all the way to the left. We have to do this to trigger some differences back in the other room. You need to walk all the way past the gentleman that's vacuuming on the most left side. Walk all the way back to the right down the hallway. Make sure you save your game and enter the hallway. Now we are going to keep walking to the right, and then we're going to talk to the gentleman again. Alright, now that we talked to him, we are going to head back to the left, and we are going to go where we came from. Now that we're back into the nursing home lobby, gonna save the game, and now we can knock on the door. Now that we have some food, they think we're room service, they're gonna let us in. We are going to realize this is not Miss Goodwin, this is just some random old lady. You end up giving her the food anyway, and she basically goes on a rant about how she, hates the nursing home and none of her family or grandkids ever visit her. Just another depressing story. Next, we're going to walk to the left, interact with the wardrobe. You're going to get a hanger. You're going to walk over to her. You're going to ask her if you can keep it. She's going to say, yes, dear. You're going to exit her room. You're going to walk all the way to the left down the lobby. What we need to do is interact with the nurse that's vacuuming, and we're going to show her that we have the hanger. She's going to say thanks. We're going to get an achievement for that. And then we need to walk over to the TV and use the hanger and use it as an antenna to give the old people some TV and make them happy. Next, you're just going to walk up to the service desk and you're going to tell her that you're trying to get behind the door that has the bars. She's going to say, okay, I'm going to unlock it. You're going to walk all the way to the right through the lobby. And now we're going to go through the double doors into the hallway and the gate should rise. We're going to enter this door. And guys, it looks like Mrs. Goodwin died in the nursing home and it's all our fault. So we're going to grab the flower and then we're going to get the cowbell in our inventory and we're going to replace the flower with the cowbell. So give her skeleton the cowbell, walk out of her room. You're going to walk all the way to the left, exit, and we are going to walk past the old people watching TV in the lobby. And here what we're going to try to do is give her the flower. Make sure you have the flower active in your inventory. And you're going to get an achievement or a trophy for giving her the flower. Next, we're going to walk into this first room before the double doors. And what do you know? You guys have been punked. Mrs. Goodwin is still alive and well. Gonna talk to her. She's gonna say, I'm delighted to see you. She basically says, don't feel sorry for, putting me in this home, blah, 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 blah. Just trying to be a nice old lady. But little does she know, you're stressing yourself out for putting her in this situation. So, it fades to black. And next we have a pretty trippy and complicated area. It's going to take some precise timing. You may need to try it a couple times. You may need to pause or rewind my footage so you know how to do it. But you're going to walk all the way to the right. Once you walk into the room, you are going to see some green smoke. He's going to say, should I smell it? Okay, screw it, I'm going to smell it. He starts tripping, and you need to walk through the door with the shroom on it. Now you just gotta chill in this room until you stop tripping. Once you're done tripping, you are going to crawl into the little hole. You're gonna walk all the way to the right. And you're going to crawl into another hole. You're gonna see some more smoke. Sniff it. Walk through the door. Walk all the way to the left. Walk into the next room door. Walk into the next room door. Walk into the next room door. Alright. If you didn't do that right, you may have to try that again. Sniff the smoke, walk through the shroom door, walk through the shroom door, and walk all the way to the right, interact with the painting, and that's going to give you a red piece of the painting. Once you're done tripping, you are going to walk to the left, and you are going to walk into the second door. Next, you're going to save your game, walk past the slots machine, all the way to the right. Next, you're going to sniff the smoke again, go through the first trippy door on the left, And then now we are going to walk up to the painting and we are going to apply the blue piece of painting. After you apply the blue piece of painting, it's going to rotate and it's going to turn into a secret door. Once it's turned into a secret door, just make sure that you walk in before the trippiness fades away. You are going to walk up to the gentleman that's laying down on the couch and you are going to conversate with him. This guy is basically going to say, yeah, you're here to take my house, blah, 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 blah. He threatens to trash the place unless you get a band to come play the music for him. After you're done talking to him, you're going to walk all the way to the right. There is going to be some green smoke. You can use it to exit through the painting. Once you enter the room, you will find the band. You need to walk up and talk to them. You are going to get them to try to play upstairs. When you talk to them, they're going to explain that basically the guy already tried to hire them to play music. So what you're going to do is once you're done talking to them, you're going to walk into the room on the right. Then you're going to walk to the left and you are going to interact with the trash can. There is $5 in the trash can. After you pick up the $5, go ahead and exit the room. We are not going to give it to the band. We get an achievement for giving it to this dancer here shortly. So hold on to that $5, walk past the slot machine, and go all the way to the right. You're going to interact with the green smoke, walk through the trippy door, keep walking, and walk through the secret painting door. And then once the trippiness fades away, we are going to walk into the first door. Here is the depressed dancer outside, sitting in the rain. We need to try to give him the $5, and that is going to trigger an achievement or trophy. Next, you need to walk to the right and interact, and there's going to be some more dialogue. You're going to exit the room, walk all the way to the right, interact with the smoke again, and then walk to the right this time. You are going to walk up and you need to try to give this the $5 bills. And so that'll let you make a call. And what we are going to do is call in the band. And we are going to request some blues music. So exit through the secret painting. Then next we're going to walk to the right, use the smoke, walk through the first trippy door, and now we are going to walk up to the slot machine and we are going to insert the coin. You will end up getting a jackpot and that will trigger the achievement or trophy for jackpot. After the achievement pops, you can walk to the left, make sure you save your game, and then walk all the way to the left exit. Walk all the way to the right, and walk into the first door. Now you are going to see the band, and we are going to give them the blues book. After you give them the blues book, they'll end up being convinced, and they're going to start playing some victory music, and it's going to end up fading to black. This will end up triggering the third distraint for taking over the property of Mr. Jones. Once you get to the white screen, you are going to walk all the way to the right. Eventually, a door will start rising. You're just going to stand in front of the door. And eventually, the door will open and Mrs. Goodwin will come out and you'll be able to control her. Once you're in control of Mrs. Goodwin, you are going to roll all the way to the right-hand side. And eventually, Mrs. Goodwin's going to start talking to her therapist. She's going to tell her how she bought this white bunny to sit on her lap and how she thinks the bunny will outlive her. And then the therapist ends up saying, "All right, time's done. That'll be $500. Well, that's depressing. Anyway, you wake up in your room again. It's another bad dream. Interact with your door. You end up in your house. Really dark again. Keep walking all the way to the right. And eventually, what the? It's your parents murdering somebody or something. Weird. Alright, interact with your coffee machine. Save your game. Walk all the way to the left. A newspaper is going to drop through the door. Read the newspaper, pick it up. Walk back to your coffee machine. Make sure that you have an empty slot. Interact with the coffee machine. And now you're going to sit at your table and you are going to drink your coffee and read your newspaper. The dude's just sitting there trying to clear his mind. And then what do you know? He sees the obituary for Mrs. Goodwin. She has passed away. Once you arrive in the cemetery, you are just going to keep walking all the way down until your second gate. Enter the second gate. Keep walking down. Save your game. And you are going to talk to the potato head looking guy right here. Alright, now he's not going to let you through. So we need to enter this little shed right here. Going to walk up to the tool table, and that's going to give us a key. We are going to walk to the left where we came from. We are going to exit, and that is the key for the first gate that we skipped. So we're going to walk to that first gate, and we'll be able to enter it now. Alright, you're going to walk all the way to the left. And then you're going to enter that gate. Walk all the way to the right. And then eventually you're going to see a lady with a crowbar. Keep talking to her. She's going to say, "Oh, you talked to my husband." And then she's going to end up giving you the crowbar. Head back to the left. And now start heading right. All the way down. We got to go talk to the same guy we talked to before. Once you're in cemetery part 1, keep walking all the way to the right. Enter the last gate. Now we're in cemetery part 4. This is where the gentleman was. You could save your game again if you would like. And we're going to talk to him. And basically you're going to tell him, "Hey, this is a crowbar of an intruder." And he's going to say, "Oh, not on my watch. He thinks somebody's robbing the cemetery now." So he dipped out to see what was going on. Next, you're going to walk past the bed. You're going to use the crowbar. There's a secret exit. You're going to pry it open. And then once you exit the house or the shed, you're going to walk to the left. Make sure you have an empty inventory slot. And there's a plank of wood on the very left-hand side. Now we need to go back to where the guy was, and we are going to use that wooden plank as a bridge. Use it, and you'll be able to walk over the hole. Skip the first gate, walk all the way to the right, and exit. This is going to trigger the achievement for visiting Mrs. Goodwin's funeral. And basically here he's saying his goodbyes. He feels super guilty, carries a lot of weight on his shoulders. Dude has a rough job. This is a pretty depressing game. I'm starting to feel like this is more of like a sad game than a horror game. The only thing scary about the game is, I guess, the zombie elephants and the creepy looking Shiloh. Anyway, you're going to light a little candle for her or a lantern. That's going to trigger some dialogue, and you are going to end up in the office. This is the office of your bosses, of the bigwigs that are telling you to evict all of these people. Now, all the way on the right, you have the secretary. Her name is Jenny, and what we need to do is we need to distract her 3 different times to be able to talk to the bigwigs. So you're going to enter the first door, and then there's 3 safes. We need to interact with the first safe. It's going to give us some salt. You're going to walk all the way to the right, and you're going to put the salt in the coffee. Exit the room, and then go talk to Jenny again. You're going to tell her, hey, the coffee is really salty. She's going to leave to go check it out. We want to make sure we follow her. Enter the room. Walk all the way to the coffee machine. You're going to have to wait till she gets over there and checks it out. Once she's over there, you want to talk to her. And that's going to trigger the achievement or trophy for ha ha ha. That's the salty coffee achievement. So you're going to exit the room. And while she's distracted, we need to go behind her desk and trigger her phone system. So we just triggered it. Now we need to go up the elevator. This is where all the offices are for the bigwig executives. We're going to walk into the first executive's office, and that's going to trigger this little cutscene. Going to exit the door, and we're going to go back down the elevator. Enter the first door, and now the second safe will be open. You are going to grab the mug out of the safe, exit the door, and you're going to go to the water machine on the left-hand side. We're going to need to drink the water 6 times. What we're doing is emptying the water machine, so that way we can get Jenny distracted with the empty water machine. After you've drinking it 6 times, the water machine will finally be empty. Go talk to Jenny. She's going to get distracted and walk away. We need to walk behind her desk and trigger the phone system once again. Then we're going to go up the elevator, and this time we're going to walk into the second door. This is going to trigger another dialogue with the second executive. Once the dialogue is over, we are going to exit this room. And we are going to go back to the elevator and head back down. Go back into the first room, and now the third safe should be open. Go and interact with it. It should have a rag inside. We're going to exit the room all the way on the left. Walk down to the left and walk into the next door. This is the restroom. We need to plug up the toilet with the rag. That way we could distract Jenny once again. We're going to walk back up to Jenny's desk, and we're going to let her know about the toilet. She's going to tell us this time, well, why don't you call the janitor? So what we need to do is go up the elevator and try to find the janitor. So go up the elevator, walk past the first 2 doors, and there's the janitor. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip talking to him. We're going to walk all the way to the fire sign right here. That's going to trigger him to walk over and check it out. Once he walks past you, you need to press A on his phone to interact with it. That's going to turn off his janitor phone. We're going to exit and go back down the elevator. Go talk to Jenny again. She's going to try to buzz the janitor, but she's going to say, oh, well, I guess his phone's off. And so she's going to go check it out by herself. Once she leaves, go behind her desk and trigger the phone system once again. Go up the elevator, go all the way to the left, past the janitor, into the farthest door. Pick up the phone once again. This is for Moore's office, the last executive. It's going to trigger the dialogue. Alright, and so that's going to send you into some more trippiness. All you gotta do is follow the little ghost people. So in this case, we're walking left, interact with the door, and keep walking to the right. Walk all the way to the elevator. Once you're in the office lobby, you're going to keep walking all the way to the left, and eventually the walls will start morphing, and you're just going to stand right here. Eventually a door will open, interact. Go ahead and skip through all of this dialogue. And so fast forward a couple years, and guess what's going on? You have your landlord showing up telling you that you are going to get evicted. Well, isn't that some bad karma? So now that you know you're getting evicted, you walk into your restroom and you're going to grab your shotgun off of the cabinet. Once you get your shotgun, you are going to exit the bathroom, walk all the way to the left. Make sure you save your game. Walk through that farthest door. Make sure you have an empty inventory and interact with the desk. This is going to trigger you to write your suicide note. After you've written your suicide note, you are going to exit the door, walk up to the chair, make sure that your shotgun is active in your inventory, and interact. Now it's going to have you take control of the lady that just evicted you. She's going to walk to the end to the elevator. And that's about it, guys. Here shortly, once the credits roll, your last achievement for completing the game is going to pop up. Other than that, you guys should have another completion or platinum trophy. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If this video helped you out, please leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe.